Buju, Migiziana Klad Minogija Kukwendijnakas, Gakabi Khan and Dunjaba, Ogashka Manasin and Dundame. My name that I was given in ceremony is Eagle Cloud from one of my Wet'ans, and my second Wet'an named me Minogija Gukwe, which is Good Sky Woman. I was born and raised in Minneapolis, and on my maternal side, my mother is from the Leech Lake Reservation, and on my paternal side, my father is from the Red Lake Nation. Early as my memories go back in my lifetime, I've always danced jingle. I've been in the circle for my whole life. I was always raised that there's spirits in our dresses, you know, and that the more work and thoughts and prayers that we put into it, that it gives it that much more, I don't know if you want to say power or, you know, life. I have an idea, like if someone wants me to make them a dress and they tell me they got an idea of some colors, it blooms to life in my mind and then through my sewing machine.
I'm Brenda Child, and I teach history at the University of Minnesota, and I'm Red Lake Ojibwe. The history of the dance and the dress, from what I understand, I always heard about it, as most Ojibwe people have, from stories. And the story is often told that at some point in time, a little girl became very sick, and it appeared that she was near death. And when she was very ill, her father was there taking care of her, and he had a dream. And the dream was about a new dance, and also about a dress, and a special dress that had these jingles. It is a tradition that evolved, I believe, during the Spanish influenza epidemic, during the time of the First World War. It's that sort of story about someone who's very ill but recovers her health. And we know that in the Ojibwe communities of the Great Lakes and Canada, of the US and Canada, the Spanish influenza was devastating. But I believe that today, whenever Ojibwe women dance in that special dress and dance to those songs, that it is about historical memory, that Ojibwe people are sort of remembering this terrible plague of the early 20th century.
One of the gifts that we were given from Manidu, you know, the Great Spirit, was a sema tobacco, and that's something that we always offer, you know, whenever we give thanks, have prayers. And originally what I was told when the jingle dress came to me was they were rolled out of snuff can lids, which are lids to little tobacco cans, and they were rolled into a cone shape, and to me that symbolizes the use of our tobacco, and it kind of channels that spirit. And what those cones do as they're bouncing and clashing, that once they come up, they're pulling that sickness into those cones, and as they're coming down, they're dropping it, because they're clashing together as they're, you know, depending on what tempo the song is, you know. You got them either swinging and, you know, dropping that sickness in that trail behind you. So what you're doing is, as you're going forward, that you're pulling that sickness from whomever, if you were offered tobacco, if you're praying specifically for a family member, that, you know, you're helping them in that way.
When I was a girl, there was an Ojibwe tradition I was very well aware of, and that was the jingle dress dance, because my grandmother was a jingle dress dancer. And when I was a girl in the 70s, there was not a person of my generation that would have danced in this particular kind of dress. But it looked like something that was going to sort of die out with this generation of women. And so it's quite remarkable what happened then during the 80s, is that as the powwow circuit began to expand during that time, and people began to travel greater distances to go to powwows, and competition powwows began, this dance kind of exploded in Indian country. And so it it didn't die out, but in fact it sort of evolved and changed and became very meaningful to a new generation of American Indian women across tribes.